human design, for those of you who don't know human design, it's like the blueprint of your soul. It's how your energy works. And it's the most potent tool to really understand your own self-awareness and how your energy is designed to be in the world.
Welcome to Women Thrive podcast. This is where you'll get to hear incredible stories of female entrepreneurs, business owners, women from all walks of life. Myself, Raimonda Jan, and my co-host Abigail will be interviewing incredible women, hearing inspiring stories of women from all around the world. I have no doubt that you will find something that will be life-changing for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and join us for our future episodes.
Hello and welcome to the Women Thrive podcast. My name is Raimonda Jan and I'll be your host for today's podcast. My guest today is Shari Thompson, who is human design specialist. Hello, Shari. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you. So happy to be here.
I'm excited about today's conversation because I know this is going to be really juicy and insightful topic for a lot of our audience today.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the more that we can share this in the world, and I'm super excited to do that, the more that people will really just benefit in so many ways. Anyway, ask me the questions.
Shari, where are you joining us from before we begin?
Yeah, so I'm in the UK. I've traveled around a lot, but back in the UK. So yeah, settled.
Amazing. Well, I would love to introduce Shari Thompson, who is a leader in activating business and growth and empowerment through embodiment of human design. With over 23 years of experience in marketing and 12 in entrepreneurship, 5 of which have been dedicated to alignment and energetics, Shari shares a wealth of knowledge, experience, and wisdom. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation. So, Shari, how did you get started in this human design area?
Okay, interesting question. I actually so let me take you back a little bit first to get you to to the human design piece. So I've always worked in marketing in very male dominated industries. And then 12 years ago, I found myself, 13 years ago, I guess, found myself pregnant with my little blessing, Archie, who I was told I would never have. His dad decided when I was 6 months pregnant that he was not going to be part of that journey. And so I moved from one end of the country to the other, set up a business and started a marketing agency as a solo mama when Archie was 4 months old at the time.
Wow.
Now, the thing about what I knew about business then was really masculine. So I pushed and I pushed and I was burnt out all of the time and I was working 18-hour days. So even though it seemed like it was successful from the outside, it was actually really torturous on the inside. And so I knew there was another way, but there was nobody really talking about the other way to do business at that time. Like, this is going back, you know? So around 2017, I really started to understand that energy had such a huge role to play in how you created business success in a sustainable way. And I started doing lots of energy training and different modalities and different practices, but still nobody was talking about how you integrate the energy and the strategy. And so at that point, I was like, we're going to do something different. I'm just going to change everything up. And so I packed everything up and we moved to Bali, like you do, you know.
How old was your son?
So he was 6 at the time, and he went to an alternative school in Bali, not the Green School, but he went to a Star Wars school in Bali because I'm really passionate about new ways of education and all of those things. And whilst I was there, I realized I was actually living in integrity with the message that I wanted to share, which was more about how you get to choose what your life looks like. And I started to release some of the relationships, some of the contracts that I had in the agency that I built up because they were not really in alignment. And the universe, in all its wisdom, went, I see what you're doing. Let's get rid of all of your contracts. And so then on the other side of the world with no income coming in, and I knew that this was like my opportunity to figure out and to walk in integrity, walk with integrity with the integration of energetics and strategy, which I did. And I only said yes to things that felt exciting, that lit me up, that felt really good. and started to create success from that place in my business. Now, it wasn't until a year later when we were living in South Spain that I found human design. And I'm a generator. So, as any good generator does, I responded and was super excited. And I was all in with the human design. And I realized that actually what I'd been doing previous to that was embodying my human design before I even knew that that was my human design. And what this tool then gave me was not only self-awareness and empowerment for my own journey, but it also gave me a really beautiful way to personalize and differentiate the journey for my clients, because I'd previously been saying, just follow what excites you, which isn't correct for every human design. So when I had this tool and could integrate it into my work, then it changed everything for myself and for my clients. And it's just been like a generator obsession ever since.
I love that. You just like, hey, as someone just does, you just pick up the pieces and you're off to live in another country with your 6-year-old. And your journey sounds like you were quite brave and you decided to take quite a few brave leaps. Did it feel like that at the time, or was it doing out of necessity?
It felt brave in a way, but I think the courage that people reflect to me, that because at the time it didn't feel like I was doing anything courageous. It felt like it was brave because there was a lot of people around me who said, I don't know what you're doing, especially my family. Obviously, they had their own concerns. It was just Archie and I, and so they had their own concerns. But I knew actually it would be worse if I didn't ever try. Like the feeling of that regret if I never even tried was so much bigger than the courage to actually do it. Because I was like, I can always come back. This is like a moment in time, and I can always come back. And if I really trust in my intuition, because I actually saw Bali in a meditation in my Akashic records. And so if I really trust my intuition, then this is me embodying that. And it's a moment in time. I would say the regret of not doing something far outweighs any kind of perceived risks we have of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the adventure part. And I think so many of us build businesses in life and we don't get to enjoy it, right? We work so hard and yet we don't have the lifestyle and we don't get to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And it sounds like you just went after things that light you up and that was a game changer for you.
Yeah, 100%. And even in business, I think we can get really in that kind of mindset in business of, but I have to do it this way, or this is how other people have told me success looks, or, the strategy that works right now. But if it doesn't excite you, then what's the point? If we always have a choice about doing what we love doing, and of course there are some things, being an entrepreneur, that we have to do, but beyond that, there's a lot of choice that we get with being an entrepreneur. So why not choose the things that feel really great for you and allow you to experience the way that you get to live your life that other people don't? Because that's one of the reasons you became an entrepreneur in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you talk about embodying human design. Tell me more about it. What does that mean?
So, human design, for those of you who don't know human design, it's like the blueprint of your soul. It's how your energy works. And it's the most potent tool to really understand your own self awareness and how your energy is designed to be in the world. And so when people find human design, in my experience, people find human design and it feels like, this is what I get reflected by my clients. It feels like a coming home, or a, oh my goodness, my life finally makes sense, or this is a permission slip to be who I always knew I was, like those kind of things. It's really powerful. So from that place, it's of course like you found this system, this tool that tells you everything about who you are in real nuance. And so it's really easy to dive headfirst into learning all of the things and knowing all of the things. And what does this mean? And how does this work? But if we don't take that beyond an awareness level in our brain and bring it into our body and into the way that we live and the way that we do business and the way that we parent and the way that we relate and the way, all of the things, then it's another piece of information in our brain. It doesn't actually change anything for you. So for me, the embodiment part of the journey is a reconnection to our body, because most of us are designed to be predominantly in our body anyway. And the world disconnected us through saying we needed to be logical and predictable and rational and all of those things. But it's also about, how do I take that knowledge and live with it? How do I take that knowledge and be with it and be this? And really, that's where the magic of human design is. I think it's a part that is often missed, but it's where the real catalyst for all of the transformation in your life lives.
Yeah. Oh, I think that kind of thing is it's part of everything, right? Like embodying our true essence, embodying who we are and allowing that to be part of our lives. And I feel like human design, since finding out about it, I know a lot of people rave about it, but truly allowing it to shift some things in my life, into my experience, in the way I do things, in the way I show up, understanding my design has been a really interesting way of starting to navigate my relationships as well. So I can truly say that it's so true. What you're sharing right now has been a big game changer for me in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, if you understand it as a tool for yourself, but also the other,
Yeah.
then lots can change without other people having to do anything. I know that for me, we were living in South Spain before COVID, well, just as COVID was happening. And I heard a voice that said, you need to leave. And so we left, like literally within 24 hours, packed up everything, left it all in the car, left the car in Spain, flew back to the UK. And everybody, because Spain, you didn't know anything was going on if you were just living in Spain. And everybody said, you're crazy, you're so dramatic. I'm a Leo, this is not unusual.
Me too.
Yeah. And so I always trust my intuition. I followed it. Well, 2 days later, Spain was in lockdown. And it was, I don't know if you were living in Spain at the time, but it was kind of strict, the lockdown. And I moved back and we were living, so Archie and I moved in with my parents. And then obviously the UK went into lockdown not long after. Well, let me tell you, that was the best deconditioning journey of my life. You want to know your human design? Go live with your parents in a pandemic. That'll sort everything out. But I know that going through my embodiment journey really deeply at that time, with an awareness of what their human design is, was not only like embodiment on steroids for me, but it also fundamentally changed the relationship that we all have with each other now in such a positive way. And they've done nothing to change it, which is totally obvious. I'm not saying they have to, but it's really the magic of when you understand yourself and embody it for yourself, but know the other, then it's an absolute game changer in so many situations.
Yeah. I agree. When we are self-aware of how we are and how we can navigate. All right, it's all about navigating. It's all about our responses to other people, to situations, and knowing also how we work. Like for me as a manifester, I found out that for me, as long as I inform people, I'm good. I've got a green light. And so now my mission is like inform people ahead of time, inform my team, inform my audience that this is what's happening. And then you can go, right? You can go so much further. That's what I've learned from my human design.
Totally. Yeah, of course. And I think, when you understand your human design, it allows for things to become easier. We're in this culture of where we've all been conditioned that to get anything, you need to work hard and it needs to be hard and it needs to be, you have to put lots of hours in and be dedicated and motivated and push more. And it's not actually true. In your human design, it's designed to be easier. And so sometimes when people start to understand this and embody it and live it, the easier the things are, the more their brain goes, hold on, there's got to be more to it than this. We're so in that energy. But when we accept it gets to be really simple and it gets to be really fun, I mean, just imagine what a liberation that is for so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Shari, so you're a speaker at the Women Thrive Summit and you're delivering talk on our stage in March. Tell us a little bit more about what you're going to be talking at your upcoming talk.
I'm so excited about this. So I'm going to be talking about how to create massive impact and income using your human design. And I think that when we start to understand that everybody who's listening to this is in business because they have a purpose, because they have something that is in their heart and soul and their own experience in life that they want to create transformation in the world about, that they want to create change about. If you're here listening to this, like, I already know that. So there's this piece around when you understand your human design and you work with your energy, the impact that you can create in the world is huge, because you have more capacity to share. You have more aligned ways of even communicating it. You have more resilience in your being. You have more sustainability in your energy. So the impact that you can create is huge, and the ripple effect of that is enormous. And that's what genuinely really gets me excited. And the more impact you make, the more income you create. And so when we work with both of those elements together and really look at how is my human design creating a platform for me to leverage all of the energetic blueprint that I already have, then big things happen in the world. And so more people that I can empower with that, the more the transformation in the whole world is. And we need it more than ever right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. And I truly believe that impact and income kind of going hand in hand. A lot of people say, hey, I want to generate more income. Well, start thinking about how you can make more impact.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, there's easier ways to make money than being an entrepreneur sometimes, right?
Right.
The highs and the lows we go through, the expansion that we're asked to navigate, there's easier ways to make money. And the people who are in the journey for money only, that's where they find it harder. But I know that everybody here is in it for impact. And the more that becomes liberated, one of the things that is really important to recognize about human design is that it's not designed to say that it's constrictive. It's not giving you a new set of rules to live by. It's actually giving you a guidance system. It's actually giving you that level of discernment about what works for you and what doesn't. So imagine discarding all of those strategies and blueprints and all of those things that don't work for you and being able to tap into what does work for you. Imagine what more that you could create in the world.
I love that. So, how do people find out what their human design is?
So I have a chart creator that you can go to, which is at thehdbiz.com. And you add in your time and your date and your place of birth. And that brings up what it's going to look like, a picture with lots of information in, but it's also going to tell you your type, and your type is the most important thing to pay attention to, because your type is almost like your operating system in the world. So even if you don't look at anything else in what it comes up as in your chart, and you only pay attention to your type, and you start to change how you operate in the world based on your type, then it changes everything. So that would be, there's 5, I can tell you the types really quickly if you have time.
Sure.
Okay. So there's 5 different human design types. There's the manifestor, like Raimonda, she's manifestor. And manifestors are designed to initiate and inform. So they feel assertive energy inside of them, which tells them when it's like time to move and bring something into the world. And like Ray was saying, as long as you're informing, then you get the green light. Everybody's there, like, let me support you. Let me support you to bring this into reality. Then there's generators and manifesting generators who are similar in the way that their operating system works, although they're a little bit different as well. So the generators and manifesting generators, I'm a generator, we respond to the things that are brought to our reality. Like the universe is bringing us things to respond to all of the time. And when we respond to the things that feel exciting and say yes to those things, then everything's going to be easier. You get way more energy, you create with way more ease. And so for generators and manifesting generators, noticing that response and noticing if it's a no, say no. Don't try and figure it out or make it happen. It's still a no. Then there's projectors. So projectors are really powerful at seeing what is already going on with energy and what already exists. So they can make more efficiencies and more effectiveness, really. They take what's there and go, okay, we can make this better. And so the way that projectors work is that they recognize themselves so that other people can recognize them, and then they get invited to support in that kind of energy alchemy and transformation. And then reflectors are designed to be the sage at the heart of what is going on, because reflectors feel everything that is happening in the people and the environment around them. And their role in kind of, everybody has a role. They are here to literally reflect the truth Like, what is your truth in this moment? How is the world kind of doing? You know, are we doing a good job, or do we need to make some changes? So yeah, that's how everybody works.
Yeah, when I think about it on different projects, I have different people with different human designs. And when I think about their roles, how they play particular roles in the business, it's quite interesting. And the dynamics that it actually creates in a team when you have different team members with different human design roles.
Mhm. It's really magical actually, because even when you're working with clients and you know, for example, okay, I'm working with a generator or a manifesting generator. If they need the response, the more that you can facilitate that response, the more you can actually get from that situation. Or if you're working with a projector and they feel more comfortable when they're recognized, invited, you can start to build that into how you're coaching as well. Like, there's lots of ways that you can work with it, whether it's in a team or in a client environment or even at home, and how you're parenting, you know?
Yeah. And when I think about it, and when people coach clients and they say, hey, this is how you should do it. And actually, it does not align at all with their human design. And they wonder, like, why is this not working? And they try to follow somebody else's direction. And it's like, mm-mm, this is not working.
Yeah, exactly that. And you know, when you go, obviously we've done a super brief overview of the different types, but there's lots of different aspects in the human design for everybody, that when you understand it, you can see, okay, this is where their sweet spot is, this is where their genius is, this is what kind of information they like, this is how I can support them to not sabotage, you know, all these different things are in the chart. So it creates real, I guess it's really potent as a coach to be able to see that for somebody,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Oh, Shari, I think we could be here all day, diving in a little deeper and deeper. And the more we're uncovering, it's like, this is getting more interesting.
Mhm. I could talk about it all day.
Oh, and I know it's so incredible when you get to know, and it starts to now spin my wheels thinking, hey, where else could I tap into my human design or my teams or the clients, and how we can optimize, because I think it is a game changer when you start to work in line, because all of a sudden it doesn't feel like you're pushing against a stream.
Yeah.
Right? If that feels for you right now, like you're pushing against a stream, have you considered doing life with human design? Right.
Yeah. If you're burnt out or overwhelmed, or you know, the thing that I get asked the most by my clients is, can you give me clarity? And I'm like, absolutely. Like, what do you want to know? Because the answer to every question is in your human design, you know, but it really gives you that clarity. And, you know, a lot of the time we spend in procrastination because we don't have the clarity to move forward, or because we're exhausted, or because we're overwhelmed. And so as soon as we can alleviate those experiences by really embodying human design, then it changes everything.
Yeah, love that. Shari, well, I know you did mention your website, which is thehdbiz.com. But is there another way for people to connect with you, maybe follow your journey or be involved in anything that you're doing?
Yeah, of course. I'm on Instagram at the HD Biz. And I also have a Facebook group called the Human Design Community. And there are loads of free resources and videos. You just found out your chart and you know what your human design type is, for example. Come into the group, because there's loads of free videos that tells you what exactly that really means and how to work with it.
Love that. Could you mention the name of your Facebook group again?
Yeah, of course. It's the Human Design Community.
Perfect. Amazing. So, for those of you who are listening to this episode right now, what I want you to do is make sure you check out the links in the show notes. Connect with Shari, join her Facebook group, go find out for yourself. I'm sure if you got to this stage of this interview right now, I'm sure we have piqued your interest about human design, and perhaps wondering what yours is if you have not already found out. And of course, if you want to find out a little bit more about how to be more embodied in your human design and create more impact and income in your business, then I invite you to join our Women Thrive Summit happening 18th to the 23rd of March. And we're going to be spotlighting more than 50 amazing speakers, incredible Shari, on our stage, that are going to be sharing their wisdoms, wisdom of, business, life, entrepreneurship, personal development, confidence, finance, leadership, and so much more. And Shari, I'm excited to have you part of this journey and part of this event.
Yeah, thank you. Me too. I'm really looking forward to sharing about this.
Yeah. Any last parting thoughts before we close out for today's interview?
I mean, if any part of what we've been speaking about today resonates with you, then go and look at human design and find a way that it empowers you. Sometimes human design information is not, some of the old legacy information is not always the most empowering. So find a way that it empowers you, because it really is a beautiful gift.
Yeah. And for all of you listening to this right now, please make sure you share this episode with your social media followers and leave us a review. Every review we love to receive and just hear what your thoughts were of this episode. Shari, I am super grateful to have you on our platform and can't wait to watch your talk happening live during our summit and just for our audience to start taking action. So, if this has been transformational, I encourage you to get in touch with our speaker and let her know on her social media channels. Thank you all so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on another episode. Take care for now.
Thank you for tuning in to Women Thrive podcast. If you found today's episode empowering and inspiring, be sure to subscribe and follow us. Better yet, leave a review and share it with others. We're committed to bringing you more stories that will empower and inspire you on your own journey. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep pursuing your dreams.